Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. You know, there is very likely a silent, ticking time bomb sitting quietly in your basement or utility closet right now. Today, we are decoding the vital warning signs that your water heater is about to fail. Think of this as your essential survival guide to preventing a major and incredibly expensive domestic disaster. Because let's be real for a second. Have you ever been rudely surprised by an ice-cold shower first thing in the morning? It's a highly relatable, shivering nightmare. But trust me on this, that temporary discomfort is absolutely nothing compared to the complete catastrophe of waking up to a flooded basement just because your rusted-out tank finally decided to give up the ghost. We're setting the stakes right out of the gate because spotting these signs early makes all the difference in the world. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our detective roadmap for today. First, we'll look at sounds and temperature drops. Second, sights, smells, and leaks. Third, we'll cover hidden costs and lifespans. And finally, what to do next. Starting off with Section 1, sounds and temperature drops. So, have you been walking past your utility closet lately and hearing weird popping noises, loud banging sounds, or maybe this low, unsettling rumbling? Honestly, it can sound a bit like a haunted house in there. But these specific, unsettling noises are actually the crucial early auditory warnings of a failing unit. Your appliance is literally crying out for help. The culprit behind all that racket is usually sediment buildup. Over time, as water heats up, minerals naturally collect and settle right at the bottom of the tank. As the heating element cycles on, the water trapped under that thick layer of sediment boils and bubbles up, which creates those popping and cracking sounds. And it doesn't just turn a quiet water heater into a noisy annoyance, it drastically reduces efficiency and significantly increases the risk of the whole system overheating. Now, what if the tank is relatively quiet, but you're noticing weird changes when you actually turn the faucet on? If your hot water runs out way faster than usual, or you're dealing with completely inconsistent water temperatures, your heater is losing its capacity. As the tank ages, the heating process simply struggles to keep up. A sudden, annoying drop in your shower duration points directly to a unit that's losing its core heating power. Furthermore, if your water is doing these wild, unpredictable swings between scalding hot and just barely lukewarm, you really need to look at the internal components. This usually means the thermostat, the heating elements, or the gas controller failing. I cannot emphasize this enough. When simple adjustments don't resolve those temperature swings, it almost always means those internal parts are on their very last legs. Moving right along to Section 2, sights, smells, and leaks. It's actually kind of fascinating how we can diagnose entirely different internal issues just by using our senses. If you turn on the hot tap and see rust-colored water, it strongly indicates that there's internal corrosion happening right inside the tank. It is literally rusting from the inside out. On the flip side, if you notice a sulfur-like odor, that classic rotten egg smell, or even a metallic odor, it indicates issues with either your water supply itself or the heater's internal components. Either way, discoloration or bad smells are a massive prompt to get that unit inspected immediately. So, the crucial point here is this. Pooling water is a major, undeniable warning sign. We're talking about leaks coming from the tank itself, the drain valve, the pressure relief valve, or the plumbing connections. The scary thing is that even a tiny, seemingly harmless leak from the base can rapidly worsen. If it's hiding away in a dark corner of the basement where you rarely check, that small puddle can turn into a devastating flood before you even realize what's happening. This means you have to actively play detective. You're looking for visual deterioration clues beyond just an obvious puddle on the floor. Check for damp insulation around the unit. Look for water standing on the nearby walls or floorboards, and check for corrosion right on the pipes and fittings. Guiding your eyes to these surrounding surfaces helps you find hidden moisture. It allows you to confirm whether the problem is internal, meaning the tank itself is breached, or external, like a faulty valve or a loose connection that can be easily swapped out. Which brings us to Section 3, hidden costs and lifespans. Have you noticed a stark difference between a normal energy bill and a sudden, unexpectedly high bill lately? If your heating costs are rising and you just can't figure out why, your water heater might actually be the invisible culprit. Unexplained higher energy bills often mean a failing heating element, poor insulation, or that stubborn sediment buildup we talked about earlier. All of these issues force the heater to work overtime, drawing more and more power just to maintain its baseline temperature. You are quite literally paying for its inefficiency. So, how long should these machines actually last before they start draining your wallet and flooding your floors? Well, the magic number is 8 to 12. 8 to 12 years is the typical lifespan for most standard storage tank water heaters. Naturally, heavy usage, poor water quality, and a lack of maintenance can shorten that time frame, while good care can extend it a bit. But generally speaking, 8 to 12 years is the biological clock for this appliance. Which leads us to a very simple rule of thumb. If your heater is within a few years of its expected service life or slightly beyond it, you need to start planning right now. Don't wait for the catastrophe. If you know your heater is a decade old and you're seeing any of the signs we've covered today, the absolute smartest thing you can do is check the manufacturing date and start shopping around on your own terms. Finally, Section 4, what to do next. If failure seems imminent, here are the 3 critical steps you must take. Step 1, address safety risks. Step 2, schedule an inspection with a qualified technician. And Step 3, weigh your options to repair versus replace. Safety must always come first. And let's be crystal clear on that first step. You must stop using the unit immediately if you see extreme red flags like active leaking, persistent burning smells, or repeated tripping of your electrical breakers. These aren't just minor inconveniences. These are severe, immediate hazards. If you experience these, do not wait, and definitely do not try to squeeze one last shower out of it. Shut the unit down to prevent a dangerous disaster and call a professional. You know, this source material sums up our mission perfectly. Pay attention to early warning signs to avoid emergency outages and protect your home from preventable water damage. That is the ultimate goal here today. Spotting these signs early isn't just about ensuring you have a warm shower. It's about saving yourself a massive amount of money and preventing the heartbreaking reality of a catastrophic flooded basement. Which leaves me with one final provocative question for you to ponder. What is your water heater trying to tell you right now? As soon as this explainer ends, I highly encourage you to go take a quick walk to your utility closet. Listen closely, look for the signs, and stay one step ahead of the disaster. Keep learning, keep investigating, and we will see you next time.